Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and now welcome to Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, the top 5 interesting moments of the episode for episode 27 or season 2, episode 2. Today it's interesting moments because this was one of Gundam's slower episodes and there wasn't much action, but rather it focused more on reintroducing fundamental concepts of Tekkadan and also establishing what might be the main plot or plot line for the first half of the season. Now, this episode, I actually very much enjoyed it, so let's just get right down into it and talk about the moments that really stand out to me. So the first one is obviously the Mikazuki fighting off the enemy pirates. That was a pretty strong moment. It reintroduces Mikazuki because while he's doing his thing, people are giving exposition on how terrifying he is, and we're given the little detail that he's always at the forefront of any battle lines. So that's, totally makes sense. That's totally within Mikazuki's character, but it serves to reintroduce him to possibly new viewers and any old viewers that might have forgotten. And it also serves to reintroduce him to the one guy in this episode who is really taking the cake for most, angsty teenager on the show. After this, it's pretty much all moments that are establishing things in the universe and just more character development. So let's go. The next moment that I very much enjoyed was Akihiro's kind of speech on living or dying, because one of the characters is feeling the kind of, stress from the fact that he just realized people might die. And it's an important realization because it highlights Tekkadan's usual kind of approach to death, in that they're not going to force them to go out there and fight. If you guys want to leave, you can leave. If you guys want to stay, cool, but you have to realize this is a part of our lives. And it's important that this moment happens because death was a big deal in season 1, especially for Akihiro, who went and lost his brother. So him speaking on death and telling these guys that they don't have to die if they don't want to is very strong, and it does reflect what that particular character has been through. The next strong moment, and another moment that was kind of calling back to some things that happened in season 1, was the moment with Atra, Kudelia, and Mikazuki, and Atra pretty much making bracelets for the three of them, or completing the bracelet for Kudelia. Now, this moment is kind of reflective of what happened in season 1, with Atra just coming to the conclusion that she and Kudelia could both pretty much have Mikazuki after seeing what Naze had done with his family unit. So it's neat that she's still kind of keeping the three of them together, and it's nice to see that kind of bonding moment. Ideally, we will not get a scene where one of the bracelets breaks, and that is the cue that one of the characters is going to die of that trio. That would be very, very sad. But let's hope that doesn't happen. The next strong moment was the moment where we got the small exposition on the Earth branch. Now, we in this moment see that one of the characters, the advisor, is not very happy with the way that the Mars base is pretty much handling the Earth branch because of rising tensions in their territory and because he feels they're being shafted. Whereas what the other guy from Tekkadan is saying to believe in Orga. And this makes or raises an interesting contrast, right? The orphans themselves are very tight-knit, so the orphans will most likely not really distrust Orga as much. But when you look at someone who just joins the military pretty much and is kind of outside party to the orphans bond, it does make it seem as if the orphans themselves are a bit naive, but it's really because it's just a matter of context. But I think this is important. I think that the strife with the Earth base might end up being like a side plot line that just kind of adds some interesting intrigue to the plot overall. Worst case scenario, the people who are at the Earth branch might feel some doubts in regards to what Orga is doing. And that would be interesting, but I doubt it would be a long-lasting plotline. And finally, the last really good moment that I very much enjoyed was very much Mikazuki defending Atra when that teen angst guy pretty much came in and was trying to be, he was about to hit her. We all saw that. We all saw he was about to shove her out of the way. So seeing Mikazuki come in there, it did establish his character, or rather further remind you of his character that he is pretty obtuse, and if he sees something, he's going to act on basic instinct. And just the way that he handled that and how close he got to breaking that guy's arm, that kind of weird emotional distance from Mikazuki, and just the simplicity of accepting that this guy was doing something bad or was about to do something bad to Atra. It's it's nice. It's nice to have that moment. That moment we could have done, it could not have been the episode, but having it there, I think, made it a stronger episode just because it's Mikazuki's character and pretty much just reminding us that Mikazuki sees the world in a very particular way. Now, those were pretty much the top intriguing moment or interesting moments, and they're very much moments that are going to establish things down the road. I think a lot of the plot elements that have been set up in those 5 moments in particular will come back to haunt us in some way. So I'm very excited to see that. Now, there were other very nice moments in there, from the scene of dinner among Takaki, his sister, and the new guy. I really hope that Takaki doesn't die, because that really seems like he might. He's happy with life. He should not be happy with life. That's a bad sign. And there was also the whole issue of teen angst, the guy pretty much telling his flashback. I think he's very immature. He's going to be a character that's obviously going to have to grow throughout the season, but I'm not going to enjoy seeing him always act like a little whiny princess. Anyway, there was also the suicide scene. I respect that scene specifically because they added the added detail that this guy peed himself, and that's like one of the uglier aspects of death. But the fact that they went and they actually showed that he peed himself after he had died. Well, it's not like he peed himself. It's more like your body releases everything that's left in it when you die. So it's like, it's unpleasant. It's definitely unpleasant. And other really strong moment, the masked man. I am very much thinking that's Galeo. That makes more sense to me. I think it's definitely Galeo. It has to be. And then this episode that introduced the main conflict of fighting those pirates. So that might be something that really takes our attention for maybe the next, 10 episodes. So seeing exactly how Tekadon's going to deal with these pirates and seeing that Montag is effectively going to help them, I'm excited. I think Iron Blood Orphans, it's setting up a lot of things. I think I can kind of see where this is going, but I know I'm going to be surprised. But it's going to be a fun ride. It's not disappointing. But anyways, peeps, let me know what you thought of this episode. What were your standout moments? And I think till next time, have a good day.